G'day, my name's Ken and welcome back to NerdCulture Australia, where incidentally I have just watched The Bullet Train, starring Brad Pitt, who's a man of particular talents and skills, pilfering and filching things that don't belong to him, which starts off the story. I like this film. It is, dare I say, a comedy, with a little bit of action, a little bit of mystery, not of the whodunit kind, but more of a where is the story going, and who are all these people, and why do they keep running into each other? And why is it so funny? But I like this film. This kept me not totally wrapped up. There were moments that I looked away, but I don't feel like I missed anything. I would watch this film. Now, as always, this is on Netflix, because this is what I have access to. But if this were to come out in cinemas, I might go see it. But then again, given ticket prices and everything, I would probably wait for it to come out on Netflix. So we're back at square one again anyway. Here we are. Bullet Train. Fun movie. Really enjoyed it. It has quite a cast list. You've got Joey King from, and I'm not too ashamed to say this, The Kissing Booth. There is Michael Shannon. If you don't know who that is, then where have you been? He is just about great in most of the stuff that he's popped up in. Let me see if I can pull up his filmography here. Groundhog Day, for instance, he was Fred in Groundhog Day. A whole bunch of stuff that I have never seen. He was in Jonah Hex, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Man, that's okay. Here's the one film that everybody should know him from. Michael Shannon is Zod in the Batman vs Superman franchise, Dawn of Justice. But moving on, you've got Logan Lerman from Percy Jackson. You've got Hiroyuki Sanada as the Elder. One of the assassins is played by a guy called Bad Bunny, who I don't know. Let's something music. Right. Zazie Beetz as the Hornet, who you will have seen if you've been on YouTube in the last, I want to say 6 months. You would have seen her in the shorts fighting Brad Pitt on a train. Guess what? That's this movie. Sandra Bullock makes an appearance. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, the main character is Brad Pitt. This is not an action film in the way that you might say The Beekeeper is an action film or Die Hard is an action film. There is no one guy taking on the world and beating the crap out of everybody. No, everybody pretty equally gets the shit punched out of them. Some in more brutal ways than others. Needless to say, there is a whole entanglement of stories going on within the film, all leading to one final central point. But we start off with, obviously the acting was pretty good. I got relatively invested in the characters. I think Brad Pitt is just Brad Pitt, no matter what character name he has, to be honest. He's one of those actors where even if he's wearing a costume and has a character name, it's like, oh, that's Brad Pitt. There are a few actors like that, where it's, oh, that's that person. The Rock is one of them as well. He's another one of those actors that's like kind of just, where's the face? It's like, oh, yeah, okay, that's The Rock. He is doing an action film. Brad Pitt is imminently recognizable as just one of those guys. it's not a bad thing, and he does try to sell his character pretty well. So, let's dive into the story then. Brad Pitt boards a bullet train, talking to Maria, his handler. He's been given a job to pilfer a briefcase and then get off the train. As the story goes along, he makes several attempts to get off the train, but various things stop him. His first attempt at exiting the train is stopped by Bad Bunny, playing a character known as the Wolf, is a young assassin from Spain, Mexico, somewhere in South America. He speaks Spanish. This much I do know. And then we dive into the Wolf's story. The Wolf was a young man fighting in a gang who worked his way up, was getting married when, at the wedding, everybody, including his bride, everybody except him, was brutally murdered. And not in a pleasant way either. So he sees Brad Pitt, assumes that this is the person that he's been sent to kill. They get into a fight. Brad Pitt wins. Alright, but not without, not without getting stuck himself. Anyway. Let me see. Brad Pitt's second attempt is stopped by... Oh, man. See, I've only just watched this film and it's already passing out of my mind. Like, it's a good film, but to get anything to stick, I think you'd have to watch it a couple times, but wouldn't necessarily say it's that good of a film to go back to it. Anyway, Brad Pitt's attempts to get off the train are stopped for various reasons by various people. We meet a pair of assassins called the Twins, called Tangerine and Lemon. They are escorting a young man who we find out is the son of a local Japanese gang boss known as the White Death. They are tasked with taking the son and the briefcase full of ransom money, which Brad Pitt has nicked, back to the boss. Things go south for them when they discover that the boss's son is one moment alive, next moment dead, and now the briefcase is gone as well. Oops. We meet a young British girl who is also on the train. She has her own reasons for wanting to meet the White Death and enlists the help of a young father played by one Andrew Koji, who I do not recognize from, well, anything really. But he is seeking revenge on the person that pushed his son off a department store roof and placed him in hospital. It just so transpires that Joey King, who is the actress in question, did such a thing and is now using the son to blackmail the father into helping her gain an audience and then assassinate the White Death, the mob boss. And all this while they're on a bullet train to Kyoto. Events transpire that Brad Pitt crosses paths with everybody on the train, right? He crosses paths with Lemon and Tangerine and wins his encounters with them, not without significant cost to himself. He meets the actress Zazie Beetz playing her character, the Hornet. She has obviously been tasked with killing the son. This is the short that went round on YouTube months ago that got everybody kind of curious as to what this movie was. And to be honest, I was curious too, and I didn't really think about it until I saw the title card pop up on Netflix. Andrew Koji's his character's father, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, 47 Ronin, or What else has he done? Shogun. He's one of the titular characters in Shogun. There you go. Also boards the train. But things are very quickly coming to a head. Brad Pitt still hasn't gotten off the train. It just so happens that what was potentially an unfortunate accident for... Crap, was he lemon or tangerine? Lemon. The character Lemon is there in the final fight and helps, but basically the end of the story is that the White Death, played by Michael Shannon, is a mob boss whose wife was unfortunately killed by way of a car accident. Now, he has transpired to bring everybody onto the train to enact his revenge on them. He first deals with his daughter, dismissing her out of hand. She doesn't get her revenge that she was seeking, having been looked down upon her entire life by her father, and just wanting to be acknowledged as being worthy of his attention and affection. It turns out that Lemon and Tangerine were responsible for a job in another country that pulled the White Death away from his wife, so he wasn't in the car with her at the time of the accident. Zazie Beetz' character, the Hornet, was responsible for poisoning the doctor who was to perform a life-saving heart surgery on the White Death's wife, so that's why she was on the train. The Wolf is only connected through the Hornet, and outside of that, I don't believe there's any other connection there. Andrew Koji and Hiroyuki Sanada's characters are there because they were part of the clan that Michael Shannon's character brutally murdered to take over their criminal empire. So that is at least Sanada's character's connection into this whole story. Brad Pitt's character is there because the assassin who is supposed to be there had a stomach bug, and the agency requested that Brad Pitt cover for him. So he is pretty well an unfortunate along for the ride, which makes all of his interactions a little bit more amusing from there's a word I'm looking for, which I don't know, but the way that he interacts with all the characters, because his character as he plays it has been on a personal development and self-reflection journey, I guess, and he, instead of getting into fights, just wants to talk about it. Because, contrary to his handler's advice, played by Sandra Bullock, he didn't take the gun. So, but every single time he gets into a fight, he's like, "Can we just talk about this? Like, hey, what's your deal?" He treats every interaction as a way to either help understand his own or help others try get over their own hang-ups or whatever's bugging them in that moment. Not always successfully, I might add. Anyway, that's the story. The action is fast. The dialogue is witty. Can't believe I'm saying this. The soundtrack's actually pretty good. I heard Staying Alive, Forever Blowing Bubbles, Kill Me Pretty. There was even a remix of something. The chorus that is like, holding out for a hero Yeah, there was a remix version of that one that was, I think, was the final action sequence. Anyway, to end a long story, Brad Pitt walks away unscathed, as does the characters from Sonata and Koji. They all walked away unscathed. Joey King is hit by a small Japanese truck, a Kai truck, transporting tangerines, and she finally does actually get her revenge on Michael Shannon's The White Death, as the gun that he's holding up blows up in his face. As for everybody else, Lemon jumps out of a train, Tangerine accidentally shoots out his own carotid artery in the neck, the wolf falls afoul of his own knife, and the hornet falls afoul of her own poison. Oops. And Brad Pitt gets to walk away from everything. Bruised, bleeding, very traumatized, and apparently in dire need of some potassium and a toilet. That is the last conversation of the film. I'm not kidding. Look, if you want to go see this film, it's on Netflix. I don't know for how long. I enjoyed it. It had me giggling. It had me laughing. The action had me hooked. Need I say more? If you like what you saw, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you in the next movie review. Thanks for watching.